going straight for the dragon?
I'm going straight in. Just, is it dead? Is the 30-second spot dead?
I think the 30-second spot is a metaphor for a certain way of doing business. And my hypothesis is as follows. It's either dead, dying, or has outlived its usefulness. So why do I say that? Well, because, look at consumers today. Is anybody out there not got a cell phone with them? Anybody not got a camera or video camera? We're not sitting ducks anymore. We're not just leaning back, waiting for stuff to come to us. We have each other. We have social networks. We have search. We have Google. We go out and we look for things proactively, actively. So my point is this. The 30-second spot has to change, and it has to change quickly. And the other point is that there are so many other colors in the box of crayons, if you will. So many other techniques for marketers to use, and that's what we're talking about today.
Okay, in this conversation, in your book, Join the Conversation, what exactly is the conversation you're speaking of?
Well, part of it is what's happening right now. Part of it is what's going to happen afterwards and what's going on the floor. Conversation is life. Conversation is word of mouth, buzz. You all hear about these terms today. Conversation happened when cavemen drew pictures on walls or caves recommending good places to find some meat. So conversation has always been going on. I think the point here and the difference between communication and conversation is we communicate at and to and down to. We can be patronizing as marketers, but conversation is going on right now. So if we're smart, we listen, we learn, and then we join that conversation already in progress. If we understand what our consumers want and need, what keeps them up at night, what gets them out of bed in the morning, then we can address them, and that's a good thing.
And in this style of conversational marketing, one of the pillars is community. Could you elaborate more on that idea of community as part of marketing?
Well, to use a techie term, killer app. Community is the killer app. So think about this conceptually for a moment. You guys go out, you all work with brands around the world. Maybe you've got 10 customers, 1,000 customers, 1 million customers, 1 billion customers. Nothing connects the dots. Nothing connects those like-minded customers. But community is different. There is a wonderful quote from a book called The Clue Train Manifesto that says, community is a bunch of strangers who care about each other a little bit more than they should. Community is what ties us. It's the ties that bond us together. And if we can figure out a way to connect those dots, to harness the network effect of a group, then the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Right. In traditional advertising, there's the phrase ad campaign, and you've said that it's not about the campaign, it's about making a commitment. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it's a very important difference, campaigns versus commitments. Campaigns have start dates and end dates. They're very siloed. For the most part, when we campaign, we do it on our terms. And unless we're the president-elect of this country, we don't really get to call the shots in terms of when we're going to be campaigning. Commitment is different. Look, we want our customers to commit to us for life. But do we commit to them for life? We want them to trust us, but do we trust them? I'll give you a classic example of the disconnect that occurs today. Chrysler recently got a large sum of money to help bail them out. So what do? They go out and take out 3 full-page commercials, a campaign in USA Today, New York Times, and Wall Street Journal. They spent $500,000 to thank America for standing behind them. Guys, you just basically flushed $500,000 down the toilet. Surely there's a better way to message out to your customers. That's commitment. It means that there's that direct relationship and dialogue with your customer base.
Okay, so how can consumer retailers here join this conversation? What are your suggestions for them?
Well, it's very simple. In my book, I outline 5 very simple steps. Number 1 is listen. As the saying goes, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use it in direct proportion. So once we've listened, then we can respond. Respond quickly and respond decisively. The third is to join the conversation, or I should say be invited to join, because we don't just get to gate crash our customers' lives. The fourth is catalyze, make it better. We've got all this incredible IP and budgets and manpower and resources. We have the ability to uplift our customers and make their lives better. And then the final one is start. If you do those 4 things, now you're ready to actually start a conversation of your own. Now I'll give you a little tactical, just a quick tactical takeaway. If you haven't set up a Google alert or a Yahoo alert, go do that. Make sure that when anybody mentions your name or your company's name or your brand's name, you know about it almost as quickly as they do. That's one way that you'll get the opportunity to join that conversation.
That's fascinating stuff. Is there anything that retailers should avoid?
Well,
Pitfalls.
I think the pitfalls are faking. Nobody likes a faker, and manipulating and dominating, and sometimes even avoiding the conversation. We can pretend we're deaf and hide away, but eventually it will, we can run, but we can't hide from our customers anymore. So I think, the words are authenticity, transparency. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest with our customers. Let's genuinely listen to them and talk with them as opposed to talking through them or over them.
So viral marketing is a buzzword that is thrown around a lot. What are the ways, would you apply those same tactics to successful viral marketing?
Well, I would say viral marketing, I always say, is the lazy marketer's guide to new marketing. Because here's the thing, today we have more tools than we've ever had in our lives to share content, to embrace, to recommend, to review, to use all of these incredible web techniques that we have. Great content will naturally be viral. So it's as simple as that. Focus on the right message. Focus on the authenticity and the relevant message that resonates with our customers. And then give them some tools to spread the word. So let them download the content. Let them mash it up. Let them even trash it if they want to. Let them share it. And naturally what you'll see are these incredible, explosive, exponential effects where, today you're getting 10 views and tomorrow you're getting 10 million.
Okay. In your opinion, who out there is doing a good job of this example?
Well, I'm going to be a little biased and obviously single out Panasonic, because I really do think through living in high definition that there's a real great opportunity to build something that is substantial, a commitment-like approach. And I'll give you just a classic example. Can you imagine going and buying a Lumix camera? Now, I don't know about you, but has anybody read a manual of any form of consumer electronics in their lives? It may as well be written in a different language as far as I'm concerned. They say that the human brain, if you use more than 4% of its capacity, you're a genius. I can't use 4% of my camera's capacity. But what if other people just like me could share with me, give me tips and tools and tricks and tutorials, and share their photos with me? And if I'm having a problem, for example, my son plays soccer and the picture keeps on blurring, maybe they can help me take a better photograph. So that's one example. I will say one other thing, one final thing. Today, a lot of companies are still doing this stuff tactically, and my advice to you is to use the acronym COST. Cultural, organizational, strategic, and tactical. Don't just do it as a tactic. Make it a strategic imperative. Change your organization to be more adaptive and more organic. Embrace conversation and find it cultural. It's got to come from the top down, the bottom up. Everybody has got to be on the same page.
Thank you so much. You're obviously very passionate about this topic, and it is just fascinating. We could go on all day, but Joe's brought with him a special surprise for 20 lucky people in our audience. You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, basically, if you drop off your business card, we'll do a random drawing later, and I'm going to send out 20 signed copies of my book, Join the Conversation, to you after CES.
So we have a white box over at the registration desk. If you'd like to drop your business card in there, just please do. Go ahead and drop it in the box, and you'll be in the running for one of Joe Jaffe's books. And if you'd like to hear more about a spotlight on ideas, please be sure to join us at 3:44 with our guest Jim Shear. He's the CEO of the U.S. Olympic Committee, and we're going to talk about how the Vancouver Olympic Games will help build demand for electronic products. Thank you so much for joining us today, and help me give a big thank you to our guest Joe Jaffe. Thank you so much.